Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I would like to report that one of the inmates escaped today. And that inmate is called Tony Blair. Sir Tony Blair. He's out of the Tower of London, it seems like. And he's touring the country, universities and intellectuals. He's very much revered. This guy who destroyed the country together with his weasel friend George W. Bush. Remember? Okay, if you do, excellent. He should be trialed, and then sentenced, and then convicted, and then locked up. And maybe not locked up, because I don't know what you do with this kind of people. In certain countries, they go and meet other people standing in front of him, if you know what I mean. And behind him is... All right. So this article comes from SBS. Okay, SBS News. And it's from a long time ago, actually. And here is, it's not from this week, let's put it this way. Tony Blair believes the West dominance is coming to an end. Here is why. Wow, former British Prime Minister Tony Blair says the world is at a turning point in history comparable with the end of World War II or the collapse of the Soviet Union. This article is from July, so during the war. Now, the Ukraine war shows that West dominance is coming to an end as China rises to superpower status in partnership with Russia at one of the most significant inflection points in centuries, former British Prime Minister Tony Blair says. Well, if you have a mirror, you can look at one of the people who are responsible for that. The world, Mr. Blair said, was at a turning point in history comparable with the end of the World War II or the collapse of the Soviet Union. But this time the West is clearly not in the ascendant. Well, because of you, weasel, and I'm quoting, you were part of that too. We are coming to the end of Western political and economic dominance. Mr. Blair said in a lecture entitled, After Ukraine, What Lessons Now from Western Leadership? According to a text of the speech to a forum supporting the alliance between the United States and Europe at Ditchley Park, west of London, the world is going to be at least bipolar and possibly multipolar, Mr. Blair said. This is what Putin said for about, 2 or 3 years. And if you look at the Munich conference, remember that famous Munich speech of Putin? Check it out. He said exactly the same thing. We need a multipolar world. Otherwise, we're going to have one country's hegemony, United States, and it's never good to have one country because it's not going to be Pax Romana. Even in Pax Romana, it was one leader and he was everybody. So the biggest geopolitical change of this century will come from China, not Russia. Well, it's too late because you idiots push them together through your arrogance and your other policies that you implemented. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has killed thousands and triggered the most blah blah blah. I'm not gonna. President Vladimir Putin says the West has declared economic war by trying to isolate Russia's economy with sanctions, and the Kremlin says Russia will turn to powers such as China and India. That's what happened. That's why Putin said it wouldn't have been inevitable, what happened in Ukraine, because the sanctions that are now he said, we've been under sanctions before that, the war. So what's the thing? Sooner or later, this would have been reached. And why not? Let's do it now, before you guys get your missiles next to our border. So the war in Ukraine, Mr. Blair said, had clarified that the West could not rely on China to behave in the way we would consider rational. No, in the way that you would consider slavish, okay? Like a vassal state, bottom feeder, like a carp. It's from the bottom of the lake. It's a bottom feeder. Whatever falls trickles down from up. You don't know. The other guys eat it, and whatever falls down, the carp. Loser. Anyway, Chinese President Xi Jinping has continued supporting Mr. Putin and criticized sanctions abused by the West. Mr. Putin has forged what he calls a strategic partnership with China. They're more than friends, idiot. But anyway, he says, China, I'm quoting, China's place as a superpower is natural and justified. It is not the Soviet Union, said Mr. Blair, who was Prime Minister from 1997 to 2007. Its allies are likely to be Russia and Iran. And more, you moron. The West, sorry, I don't like Blair because what he did in Iraq. As I don't like the other ones from U.S. administration. Cheney, Rumsfeld, and semi-conscious George W. Okay? So I don't have any respect for this guy who was knighted by the Queen. He's a sir, isn't he? Jesus Christ. Maybe lazy lizard Truss would be a lady or whatever is sir. I don't know what's the same as a woman over there. Sir lady. He says here, the West should not let China overtake militarily. He said, too late. We should increase defense spending and maintain military superiority. How? Mr. Blair said, the United States and its allies, vassal states, Blair, don't use euphemisms here, should be, quote unquote, should be superior enough to cater for any eventuality or type of conflict and in all areas. Hey, these countries have nuclear weapons, Blair. So if they lose, let's say Russia loses conventionally, what do you think they're gonna do? Take it? I don't think so. And besides, China is not fighting 6,000 or 8,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean. They're gonna fight next there. And where are you gonna be? You're gonna be coming from with your little ships towards there. I don't think so. I don't think you have too many chances. But anyway, not you, Great Britain. No. Great Britain is just unfortunate, I have to say it. Great Britain barely beat Argentina, I gotta say, okay, about those little islands over there by Argentina. And Argentina is not China. So I don't know what, if Great Britain goes in a scuffle with China, I think, sorry to say, Great Britain would be eliminated. Same, Great Britain gets in a scuffle with Russia, would be eliminated. So without United States, Great Britain is really a third-rated power, not even second. The first one, let's United States, and then the next ones be Russia, China, and about it. And then maybe in a third will be the rest, like Israel and Great Britain, and I don't even know who would be next, because France still has, France the same. France and, they would be like brothers, like Mon Ami, English guy. Okay, now they're friends because they have a common enemy. It's great. Like in the Napoleonic Wars. You know, England was friends with everybody who was against Napoleon. It was unbelievable. Anyway, so here, Blair tells us things that we knew already, but he comes out of the woodwork and says it. Like that guy Bill Maher, or whatever he is, another Zelensky on the TV, he changes the way polls change. He's a woke guy, liberal, communist, whatever, and then when things change a little bit, and then again, no, he's a weasel. He's a money changer. He needs Jesus Christ to come back, get his little desk, turn it upside down and kick him out of the temple. That's what he needs to do with Bill Maher, just so you know. Bill Maher, he's a weasel. He's back, left, right, and he's not objective to say, you know what, I'm not with anyone. I'm just analyzing. No. We know exactly who you are with. We know who you are paid by and all that. It's your heart is colored in certain kind of colors and all that. So don't fool normal people. You fool the below 86 IQ, but you and I are not 86. We're about 3,000 IQ points, okay? Now that we got that settled. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Tony Blair. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.